Good morning and welcome back to the 6 a.m. Club where we start our day inspired. It's another beautiful day and I'm so glad that you have chosen to start your day here with me on the 6 a.m. Club. Today we're going to be diving into the power of change because here's the thing, we often wish for things to be different. But as the saying says, or as the quote says, don't expect to see change unless you make one. That is our quote for today. Don't expect to see change unless you make one. Imagine that every day it's like a fresh start, a fresh canvas. And it's not about overhauling your life in one day. It's about making small, deliberate steps that have that ripple effect into lasting transformation. Let me share with you a personal story. I used to resist change furiously. I held into my routines and my habits, and some of them didn't even serve me anymore, but they felt comfortable. And then I realized that change was the key to growth, and it was time for me to make some changes. I chose this quote today because, as you know, if you listen to this week's podcast episode, we are going to be kicking off the last 90-day challenge. Meaning, as of October 3rd, we're going to be 90 days away from the end of the year. And I know, and I share this on the podcast, that many people by this time of the year, they don't even remember the goals that they set at the beginning of the year. We start every new year wishing something changes, dreaming that something will change, that something will be different as we get to January 1st. And as I share on the podcast this week, there is nothing magical about January 1st other than the meaning that you give to that day. And as I mentioned earlier this week, imagine that you woke up and every day was like January 1st. How would things look different? Again, the world doesn't have to change in one day, but small progress every day adds up to big results. Change doesn't have to be monumental. It can start with a single step. It might be a new morning ritual or a small adjustment to your already existing routine. Or maybe a decision to try something you've always wanted. These small steps can lead to remarkable outcomes. Change often encounters resistance, and we need to break down the barriers. Those can be internal or external. It's like a river trying to find its way through the rocks. But remember, even a river can crave a canyon given time. So identify what your barriers are, whether it is self-doubt, fear, or maybe are some external obstacles, and navigate them the best that you can. No one says that change is easy. Typically, it's not. But if you're persistent and you have a clear why you are changing and what is the compelling future that awaits for you on the other side of change, you will find the strength to navigate any obstacle that comes your way. I'm sipping on my morning coffee, and I want to invite you to ask yourself this question. What is one change, big or small, that you've been wanting to make in your life, but you keep pushing out? It could be related to your health, to your career, to your relationships, or to your personal growth or any other area of your life. And I want to invite you to make a commitment to yourself that you'll take one step, one small little step today towards that change. Write it down, share it with a friend, or simply declare it to the world. It's your declaration of intent. And that is the first step towards change. Change is like the brush we use to paint the masterpiece of our lives. So don't wait for change to happen to you, but Become the change maker. As you embrace the power of change, remember that the journey itself is a beautiful transformation. And the only way that something is going to change is if you make a change. So what is that one little change that you're willing to make that even if it feels hard, it's totally worth the hardship because you know that on the other side, a better future awaits. Thank you for joining me one more week here on the 6 a.m. Club where we start our day inspired. I hope you have an inspired day ahead, an amazing week ahead, and I can't wait to talk to you on Monday for another episode of the Leading Yourself podcast. And I'll be back next Saturday for more 6 a.m. inspiration. Until then, have an amazing week ahead.